Hello, we're back to playing the Doomcore Trilogy, and currently we are on the 8th map, which is the first very large map of Reverie, which is called Triplet 2. So of course, as the title suggests, this is a sequel to the first Triplet, which is actually a map that Jim Flynn created for the Enigma episode. So the funny thing about it too is actually, I remember not really being a fan of the idea of making sequels for things or maps, even whether it's a project maybe somewhat, but it could just be a map, I guess. Kind of depends. I mean, obviously there's stuff like Plutonia 2 that I wasn't really against, but I just like the idea, or I wasn't really fond of the idea of like these maps using the titles of other people's existing work. It's just kind of like if you were making something and you decided to call it Memento Mori 3. I guess it would just kind of seem like something that should be reserved for the original team. So it's just kind of one of those things. Also, I apologize if I seemed a little bit caught up there. It's just kind of keeping track of all the action while trying to talk about all this. But yeah, obviously I did that thing over here where I hit the use on this little computer panel and I shot here, which opens this door, I believe. I think I missed it the first time. So you actually unlock secrets, these platforms, in each of the separate teleport areas, I believe. And yeah, actually, speaking of which, I'm thinking maybe I'll probably go for the blue one first. I think this one might be the hardest. So just want to get it over with. Thankfully I did leave that invulnerability right there. Of course this first part's not too crazy, but I think I want to get rid of these guys, of course. It's the infamous MAP08 puzzle that gets everybody tripped up. Honestly, I could have made this much better with the indication of what exactly you need to do. Actually, I was thinking about it recently too, since I knew this map was eventually going to be played here. But I'm just kind of wondering, like I guess besides having the numbers on the actual panels, the other problem is of course having these monsters actually standing on the panels. So maybe the corpse might block what the number is on the panel. I don't think it shows up on the map either. Anyway, things are very clearly heated up already. So this is the first one, it's a blue panel. I think what I should have done also is just kind of insert something in the cave that indicates that it's some kind of puzzle, because some people, I think, thought it was just kind of randomly guessing the right answer. At least from what I've seen of some people playing it. And these platforms also are a little bit far. So the second one is orange. Third is red. We have the last one here, I think is... no, it's blue. So blue, orange, red, and blue. Yeah. Just gotta keep that in mind, but I could have put something like a text or something in the cave that says something like enter panel code or something, and maybe put the numbers on the panels again. Or at least near the panels, probably would be better. Like another sort of mid-texture with numbers or something in text. Similar to maybe a few things that I've seen in Eternal Doom. Kind of reminds me of the bank sequence. I think that was also a Jim Flynn map, actually, thinking about it. Hopefully I'll last through this next little section here, because I know there's going to be an Archvile popping up. I think I'm just going to chance it. Just got to deal with all these clowns. Okay, let's... no, I gotta get really close, actually. Okay. not too bad. I'm willing to take the hit since I was nice enough to give myself a soul sphere. As long as I don't mess up this next little section, clearly. Yeah, so I was really inspired from Jim Flynn's work, going back to just the creation of the map. I did want to do something that was puzzling in nature, and obviously it was a little too puzzling from what I can tell. So the first one was blue, second orange, third red, and the last one is blue. So it tells you exit back, which means to go back here. Of course you can always reset by going back, but in that case it actually does open up the next area. It's going to be tricky finding all the secrets for this one too, I realize. So here there's definitely Commander Keen's where those lost souls are. Wow. Oh yeah, wonderful. Let's get rid of this guy. Get rid of that guy too, actually. I probably shouldn't have done that too soon, I realize. So I'm just going to unlock these guys. Well, actually, I guess that's good because I can get them to infight. Come on and do your thing. Alright. Switch back to being involved. Okay, now I gotta flip the switches. I think I'll hide here for a moment. It's for this little part. Maybe not the best weapon. I know one of the secret platforms is actually shooting the marble face behind the archvile, which is pretty easy to do by accident, just by shooting. Okay. So we got the blue key. We can head for one of these. Maybe I'll go for the red. Actually, I think I usually go for the red first. And maybe it would have been a good one, since, you know, there's a cyber demon in this area. See, I'm trying to remember. I feel like it's so weird looking at this, actually, because I feel like I vividly remember doing things like creating this sliding door here. Like, it just doesn't seem that long ago. I guess I was just kind of playing around with the idea of tech base setting. So this area probably isn't really that influenced from Jim Flynn's work, but oh yeah, there's also this secret. It's a little bit funny with the lower and pegged texture, though. I think I'll try going this way. It's probably a little less risky. I think the other little platform secret is right there. I think there's the one that I always forget where it is. Hopefully I won't forget this time. Just gotta keep a sharp eye out. Try to remember what I did in my own maps. Yeah, I know it's gonna get risky in here with the cyber demon eventually. I think I'll save the invulnerability for that too. There's another one just behind here. Definitely a lot of Hell Knights in this area. That is one of the few custom textures that I did put together for Reverie. It's that sort of tech wall and star-based texture. Yeah, some of the few textures that I actually could make were basically just variants of existing Doom 2 textures. It's still kind of like that too for me. I think just, it's always been kind of challenging trying to come up with new textures. I guess I have to think of what I really want and think of how I can achieve that, either with anything existing already, mixing it together with other things, or just searching on Google. That's pretty much what I did for Ekeldama, actually, for the shelter textures for the first map. Because I just looked for sheet metal and I just had to cut and crop it and edit to make it work. But anyway. Oh yeah. So, Reverie does have quite a few places where there's maybe a little bit of tight combat. Yeah, I think there's a secret here. I think that lowers to indicate that you've changed something. That actually it's the Cyber Demon basically was under or inside the slime fall. So that actually lowers when you flip that switch. So it reveals the key as well. And that switch, by the way, the secret that I just shot, I think that opens another secret somewhere. I think I'll probably see it shortly. Whoops. Wow. Took that one. Get more health shortly, though. I think this kind of feels like general tech and sort of TNT influence. Wow, I'm getting really low on shells here. Just realized. Could also stand to use some rockets, probably. Good to have plenty of cells. Okay, Cyber Demon time. Just do the safe strategy. Well, I don't really need to do it right now, though, I guess. I'll just focus on going back and forth. Which actually, this works pretty well usually, too. Unless there's a wall behind you that's pretty close, which, yeah, this would probably be better fit for circle strafing. Because I'm just going to take splash damage if I didn't have that invulnerability. Okay, that was a bit weird. Seemed like I was going right through him. Let's give the machine gun some love. I do like the machine gun. I feel it's sometimes underutilized. Of course, it's a little understandable, though, considering typically there's lots of mid-tier monsters and above. But it's really satisfying stunning enemies. Certainly the Pain Elemental, for one thing. It was always my go-to weapon growing up. It's another little secret, just getting some of these goodies. Oh yeah, this is gonna be... well, not too bad, actually. I think that's it for that area. Oh yeah, that gray texture I just walked into, I think I reached my limit with the scrolling textures in vanilla. I would have made it like one of these, where it has all the multiple lines that are scrolling, but because it was exceeding that limit for vanilla, I just had to leave it as a solid texture. That's cool. So yeah, I know that last one, this is the one that's going to be tricky, I think, for me to remember. Oh, should have known. Sorry, I already went through this area. Supposed to go for the yellow one. Of course, I already have the red key. I'll just go through here. So yeah, I think, yeah, this feels very TNT. It's kind of like, it reminds me of MAP 3, 15T evolution. Oh. And then of course this one definitely is more directly Jim Flynn, because he did have a very large area that you'll see shortly. This actually, then again, this little area too is also a reference to another map he made called Interdiction Zone. Oh, look at that. I think he's getting down to the music. Now he's really getting down. Okay, I think it's time for machine gun again. Oh, look at that. Oh, nearly capped on the shells. Really like how this map came out, by the way, even though it's a bit odd having such a large map early in a megawatt. I do kind of feel like that is something maybe I would have done differently. But at the same time, it's also a little bit interesting because it's not something that you usually see. It's something that's kind of old school styled like this. At least for me, it wasn't something that I would typically think about. So I guess it does kind of give this megawatt a little bit of personality, for better or worse. So let's see. I don't actually need to be on this floor, I just realized. But I could clear these guys out, of course. So there's a little bit of Triplet and Interdiction Zone that went into this map. And actually I think, now that I think about it, it's possible that circular area, the first one I went to with the color-coded puzzle, it kind of reminds me of the map, another map he did called Wheel, which was wheel-shaped, of course, and I think that area, you can kind of see that. So it's kind of a love letter to Jim Flynn, I guess you could say, as some people would say anyway. So you have all these different floors you get off on. A good way to deal with them. You walk over here and shoot that little switch. It kind of reminds me of Icarus. I know there's a map that reveals a Hell Knight in that fashion. It's pretty much anything and everything old school, whenever I just feel inspired enough. Or just upright stealing ideas, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and there's your little hint of the screenshot. Since I didn't really know how to tell the player at the time what certain switches did. I do always like the idea of using lifts to cross under areas that you've explored. So now we go here just to open that door. Yeah, just a couple, and now finally we can head to that very large area. It's been pretty darn cold lately. Not a big fan of the cold. Plasma gun. It's a good soul sphere. It's kind of an odd way of getting it, though. I think I'll use some plasma. Got plenty. So yeah, this definitely is Triplet. There was an area similar to this where a gigantic staircase would build up. Of course, you can't do anything about it here. They're just totally solid. Dopey. It's quite generous. There's another soul sphere. Oops. I think I'll refer to this once again. Chain gun's getting some good screen time on this map. Yeah, I just think this is really cool, even though it's directly taken from Jim Flynn's map. Just thought it was the coolest thing ever. Some big structure just builds itself. I think it's really satisfying whenever there are moments like that in maps where it's almost like you're kind of helping to build the map while you're playing it, in a way, just because you're either flipping switches or walking over line def triggers. Okay. Getting a little low on chain gun. I think I'll still use it though. But of course, the good old chain gunner's gotta finish up. Of course, that candle is a very clear indicator of a secret. I don't remember what that switch does. I think it might... Actually, I think it raises, yeah, platform over there. So this is where I can get the soul sphere by literally just walking forward. Or almost. I should have made this a fast lift. Actually, I guess it is a fast lift. It just didn't seem that way to me at first. Yeah, kind of goofy. At least this is a convenient way of getting up here. Yeah, and that bridge also. It's interesting. This is another kind of early bridge for me. And the line defs that actually are blocking, but you can actually cross under it. I think is pretty cool. The funny Skyfloor maze, once again, was in the same area as the giant staircase in the original as well. It's these moments that I feel kind of help define Reverie in some way, whenever it just kind of gets odd or surreal in some way. I think it fits pretty well. I gotta look out for this Baron. Wonderful. I'll get these guys to all in fight. Come on. Fight, fight. Yeah, there we go. Oops. Gotta find a place to get it to stop. Oops. Just ran right into that. And that one. Man. Catching all the hot Cheetos. Okay, so... Well, there's that other soul sphere I left down here. I don't think I should have... Oh wait, oh, okay, never mind. I almost thought this was opened with a switch. I guess it opens when you walk over here. So, thankfully that's alright. Maybe that's the secret right there. Hopefully it is. That might be the Berserk pack. Now we go to the very top floor. There's another one there too, it seems. So... Oh, there's one more secret. Curious. Go at least flip these switches. Wonder which one of these areas probably has it. Should I go look for it? Don't think that wheel area has any more secrets to it. Actually, then again, it might have something. Maybe it's behind the last area. Oh, getting stuck on the trees. Doesn't hurt to pick up some ammunition along the way. Whoops. Oh, there's quite a few Berserk packs. Pretty good thing though for such a long map. Wonder if there's anything. No. Yeah, I can't remember. Don't think there's anything there. There's nothing else over there either. So... the mysterious last secret. Should I even go for 100% though? Don't think there is anything else here either. So... Guess that leaves this area. Gosh, really don't remember. Did trigger all of these. I was hoping to get all the secrets, but it seems like there is one that's just kind of avoiding being detected. Boy, it's curious. I guess I'll just have to move on, though. I do like to get all the secrets, though. And this is pretty evil. Oh. Got through with just a small scratch. And I can't see. Okay. Well, it's all the monsters. So, that's it for that one. Yeah, a lot of different ideas went into that one, besides, of course, obviously Jim Flynn and his works. There's a little bit of TNT and Icarus that could be found, I think, and, well, it's not a whole lot else I can think to bring up. That one was definitely took a while to get through that one. It also took forever to make every possible sequence for those colored panels, so I do remember that being a little bit of a drag trying to... I probably had to write down like all the combinations or something, or try to make sure I had them all. But yeah, stuff like that can be a little tricky, besides all the other puzzle sequences. I think the staircase also was probably the most difficult to figure out, because I actually had trouble with it constantly building in the wrong direction. It's actually not the stair building switch, but it's actually the floor raising switch, where I just created dummy sectors for every single step, and the floor simply raises to the next high floor, or the highest floor. Something like that, because I just could not get the staircase to behave itself. It was just way too crazy. Way too many lines that are just crossing over, so it definitely makes me curious how Jim handled it in the original map, because I just could not figure it out no matter what I did, so I just had to find another way around that at the time. But yeah, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that was also probably an earlier map. Not the earliest, but I think before I had a double-digit amount of maps, I might have made that map, this map that is, but can't say for certain. It's a little hard to say, but it definitely was one of the earlier handful of maps at some point, I think. So anyway, that's about it for that one, and I'll see you guys in the next part. Take care.